And I decided to do one of these. The entertainment factor is going to go way down with me. I blocked Thomas yesterday. That Johnny Dub, who you know, the dude actually said that they're part of Department of Defense, not CIA. The whole conversation with what the gist of Thomas Schoenberger's is, you whine too much. They break into my house. They steal my shit. They tried to blow me up in a gas station. They murdered my fucking friend and brag about it. They hung out flyers hoping people would show up at my house, doxing me with my picture, telling people I'm a pedophile. And I guess I'm supposed to what? Just take it in the ass and be quiet about it? That's what they're used to, because that's what the kids that they're trafficking have to do. I'm not a fucking little kid. Those days are over. Hey, Susan. Those days are over. I'm not just taking it, and I'm just reporting it. I know the dumbass is outside right now. I will catch you in my fucking house, dickhead. And when I do, you will not like the consequences. I've just had enough. For those of you who are interested, I sat this morning. It took me an hour and a half to do what I did. I did a table of contents. Starts from the latest and goes down. There's a chunk I have one from the beginning up that's already in the pages. But this time I actually went, because I haven't done it for a long time. And that I pay an inordinate amount of money for that stupid blog. And it's nothing more than a glorified MySpace. You know? It's hard to navigate and it's hard to see what I've done. So I'm going to do it. I'll finish the table of contents in the next week or so. But, and I blocked him. Geo actually posts shit on YouTube and mentions me. He can't do that anymore. I've blocked him. I don't get their mentions anymore. I haven't gotten Terry Joyce's mentions in I don't know how long. Daniel Dowd's American Witchcraft, the Pootie Twang, Clown Wolfen, all of the fucking aliases they had, I blocked every one of them. Because I don't care. Their shit is all the same. It's all the fucking same. They're a goddamn bunch of child traffickers. The dude breaking into my fucking house, if you like those child traffickers so much, you have a kid, sell it off. If you like the child traffickers so much, name one victim of any of this child trafficking that has ever been respected. Even with Jeffrey Epstein. None of them are being... When the police interviewed them as kids, if you go look back, they all say the police treated them like they were liars and crazy and whores. They're being abused as children. Oh, but they're not... They were adolescents. They're not children. They were fucking 15-year-olds. Anybody else would go to goddamn jail. But Megyn Kelly says, oh, well, it was just a 15-year-old. So now what we're going to see is the diminishing of pedophiles are okay. Hey, pedophiles are great. We all love pedophiles, right? That's how it's going to work. Trust me. And except for a handful of you, it'll go without even question with the majority. Some of you will end up being forced to take a stand. You won't have any choice. You won't be able to sit with it. You won't. I can't. Never have. Never have. But they want to play and call me a liar. Now you have a table of contents. Go read their shit. All the shit, because that's what it is. That's what the majority of every one of those articles is just screenshots of all of their shit. That's what it is. Geo Farnsworth and Daniel Dowd, I would have never, ever accused you of murdering Owen Wingert had you not bragged about it. Had Daniel Dowd not posted all those live videos of Harlan. You were in my area. How else did you post those live videos? You know? But I'm just supposed to take it and be quiet. I'm whining because they murdered my friend and the cops don't do a fucking thing about it. You know? Neil has told all kinds of people that I'm mentally unstable. I fucking live here. Thomas lies. You know? He's part of the Department of Defense, not the CIA. Excuse me. Still fucking government. Still fucking involved with child trafficking and hiding it. I have dogs, but my dogs are old. My dogs are old. They threaten to murder them all the time. They break into my house all the time. I know who it is. One of them is outside right now. You know? Oh, this is Geo. Oh, you need a job. This is my job, motherfucker. Busting out you. That's what my job is. That's what my job is. Is to fucking call you motherfucking child traffickers out. Because nobody else is. I know the group that's involved with the actual fucking trafficking of the kids. Not the elite who don't get involved. Go read my blog. Go read their shit. It is simple. Go read it. Go listen to their voicemails. You know? This is Geo. Geo who's left me drunken messages. Of course he's involved with Smokey. He has a new boyfriend. For those of you who want to know, do you want to know why I didn't introduce Smokey and let him talk on my venue on here? Because when I talked to him, he told me that when he was young and he was a drug dealer, he was a prolific drug dealer. And he had over $1 billion. He has a specific number of $1 billion, but it was over $1 billion. And that's with a B. But the cops couldn't figure out that he was doing so many drugs that he was able to amass such a fortune. And then when he decided, when he found Jesus and he gave it all, he spent it all. So the government, he was able to amass over $1 billion of drug money and then spend $1 billion of drug money, and nobody picked it up at all. Nobody picked it up at all. Dude, I tell you what, I'll help you out with that. And nobody picked it up at all. That's what he said. Had I brought him on my show, he would have said his stupid shit, which is what Sherilyn wanted him to do. And then what would they have done? Every one of my supporters was crazy. That's what would have happened. That is exactly what would have happened. That's why I didn't do it. I told people talking to Gov made my eyes hurt because the shit he said made my eyes roll back in the back of my fucking head so many times I had a headache after getting off the phone. But I only talked to him a few times. 2 or 3 times. And they got shorter and shorter each time. Because I don't have time to listen to people. If you want to do that, then fucking write it down and sell books. You know? But I'm not the one. I'm not the one. But that's why I didn't have Smokey on. That's the reason why they're befriending Smokey. Because Sherilyn is part of that Famalam group. That Famalam group is exactly what Isaac Cappy got murdered over. That Famalam group. Sherilyn's part of it. Geo's part of it. Daniel Dowd's part of it. Tara Joyce is part of it. Gabe Hoffman is part of it. Joanne Shurter, my stepmother, is part of it. Isaac Cappy designed that program to fight child trafficking, and they turned it around and started to use it for child trafficking. That's why Isaac considered himself a Judas. Because the very thing that he was trying to help kids with, They were using it to fuck them. Literally. And people in town here, they just don't. I'm saying that all this shit is happening. They're fucking bragging that they're doing it and that it's happening, and yet nothing. My sheriff is too busy trying to fucking help him. He lied about that gas station explosion. He knew that they were in town when Owen ended up dead. He knew all about it. Didn't even respond until 6 months later. And then when he did, it was a bullshit response. You know? And of course Thomas defends him. Will crawl right up his ass and extol the virtues of Neil Gross. Well, they're all working together. And why? Because they want to protect their child trafficking operation. That's what all this is. The shit that's happening to me is what they do to every fucking victim. There's not one that comes forward that gets treated like victims of fucking child rape should be treated, as far as I'm concerned. Because the kids, they just fucking deserved it. The pedophiles were doing them a favor, right? Fucking them in the ass? Fucking them? Makes me wonder, the dude that's breaking into my house, does he fuck his kid? Is he the one putting peanut butter on his dick and letting my dogs lick it off? Because I don't think they just pulled that idea out of nowhere. It is so vile and so disgusting and pisses me off in such a way. But do I think that the undocumented Mexican munchkin or Georgie Porgy are putting fucking peanut butter all over their dicks? I would not. I wouldn't discredit it, not off the bat, not without some evidence. I have a feeling that that's what they did, and then they told this group what they did, and now this group wants to actually harass the shit out of me about it. It's fucking vile. But that's the shit that I'm just supposed to take. I'm not supposed to complain about it. That's what Thomas says. I'm not supposed to complain about it. This is what they do to quiet victims of child trafficking. This is the very shit they do. And it's not like I didn't have someone that I considered a friend coming in and fucking taking pictures of my house, you know, of the inside of my house, then lied to me and then got confused and just, so fuck, I have all of the shit. I told her I had cameras in the house that you can't see. I've hidden shit in the house. I will catch that motherfucker in my house. I hope to God I catch him smearing fucking peanut butter on their dicks and letting my dogs lick it off, because I'll post that shit everywhere. I won't give a fuck. And people wonder why. You know? I get irritated with all of this stuff. They wonder why. It's not rocket science. If someone was breaking into your house all the time, doing whatever they fucking wanted, and he does stupid shit, stealing my glasses, he just wanted me to know I was here. Overwatering a succulent. I don't water all of my plants for 2 months. Then my succulent is dying. I thought, oh my God, I need to water my plants. Because if the succulent is dying, and then I go there and it's fucking waterlogged. So who's watering it? My dogs? Are my dogs watering the plant? No, because they just want me to know they were in the house. All to terrorize, so I'll shut up about their child trafficking ring. And everyone around here, Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross, everyone knows they're involved in a meth operation. Everyone knows. It's just very few people care. And they don't want to get involved. And there are some who would get involved, but they're afraid. And it's weird out here because I guess they all grew up or whatever together, but it's a big popularity thing. They're all trying to, they're so afraid to go out, you know? Oh, dude. All of this child trafficking needs to be busted open. It does. It needs to be busted open. But fuck. We saw the Aurora Borealis, what, 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago? In Iowa. Let me point out, you're not supposed to see the Aurora Borealis. That's unnatural, unhealthy. You're not supposed to see. But what do they have everyone look? Look at the pretty lights. Wow, look at the pretty lights. Aren't they pretty? Of course, what the sun is doing to us, to cause those pretty lights all the way down to Mexico, probably isn't a healthy thing. But they realize that most people are dumbasses. They'll focus on the pretty lights. You know? Fuck, that's what most people want anyway. You know? They want to be told that the world is good and it's safe so that they can go to bed at night and feel at one with the world. That's what they want. And I guess if you need to fucking lie to yourself, because that's what you're doing, any moron can see that things are not good. And they're escalating to get bad. Just saying. Just saying. But with that said, I'm going to do some show and tell because I'm tired of talking about all this child trafficking. Like I said, the entertainment level is going to go down because I've blocked every one of them. I don't see their shit. They can fucking post all about me, to the fucking heart's content. To the heart's content. You know? And it's been working for Gio has a new boyfriend. That's a good thing. Maybe he can get it up the ass. I bet he wouldn't whine, but I wouldn't put it past him to whimper. Okay, so this is what this starts to look like. This is that nativity scene that I'm doing. And then this is what it looks like on the other side. As you can see, I have to cut out each one of those things. But they're doing whatever they can to shut me out. And Neil Gross knows exactly who it is. And I will catch them. I will catch them. And I will not call the police. I will post it everywhere. And if that little Mexican munchkin is unfortunate enough to get filmed in my house, that's when I will report him. Because I'll have a video of him doing a crime. You know? Neil might not do anything. But God only knows. You know? Shit, they can blow up a gas station. They can murder people. They can do whatever they want. Neil helps them. Neil is a bad guy. You know? Neil is a bad guy. Which is why he's working with Thomas Schoenberger, who is also a bad guy. The dude says, I'm just a composer, I just do my music, but wants to be seen as the authority on all this child trafficking and everyone who's involved and everything that's happened and everything in the past and all of it. He wants to be seen as the authority. So how are both true? And the dude obviously has a lot of time on his hands because the reason why I blocked him is because I was sick and tired of listening to my phone ding all day, every day. Because the motherfucker wouldn't stop. And every goddamn email I got from him, my phone would go off. So I blocked his ass. Shit, the screenshots that I took of just yesterday, 53 fucking screenshots. 53 screenshots from this motherfucker. And it's all to hide his child trafficking bullshit. It's all to fucking hide this child trafficking for Department of Defense, I guess. It's not the CIA. They're working for the Department of Defense. First screenshot, other than the table of contents, you go to the next one, it's the first screenshot from that Johnny Dub, who is Thomas Schoenberger's associate. The bullshit is just beyond. Is beyond. And yeah, I'm doing this live and I'm talking loud because I know someone's listening. And that's good. See, I don't hide in the fucking shadows. I don't play the little fucking pansy ass fucking middle school games they play. I'm right here. They can hear me. If they want to get in my face, I'll say the same fucking thing to their face. But I'm basically doing the same thing right now. There's not a goddamn doubt how I feel. Or why. Or why. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop, but I'm also not going to let them fucking harass the shit out of me. You know? I doubt they're going to leave me any more voicemails. I just doubt they're going to leave me any more voicemails. Fucking dumbass Geo Farnsworth will post on YouTube and then set up an account and then send me the same fucking emails over and over and over and over and over at midnight. So ding, 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 ding. But motherfucker, you never know when I'm awake. You know? You never know when I'm awake. And I'm up and down all the time. Always have been. Since I was a kid. It doesn't bother me. So the minute I hear the ding, like, was it last night? I think it was last night. Maybe it was the night before last. I think it was last night. The first ding at midnight, I knew exactly who it was. So I just went on and I blocked it. I only have to hit it a couple times. And it gets blocked. You can fucking email me all goddamn night, send me 1,000 of them, I don't care. Doesn't reach me. Doesn't reach me. These child traffickers target people. They do it all as a group. Thomas is well aware of what Daniel Dowd is doing and bragging about, even though his video is down now. You know, his video is down. But I still got the synopsis. I still got the screenshots of the synopsis. He brags about the shit, you know? And so he's doing what he's doing. Gio's doing what he's doing. Tara Joyce is doing what he's doing. Thomas Schoenberger is doing what he's doing. And they all want to make sure that I know what the other is doing. So Thomas Schoenberger will talk all about what Daniel Dowd's doing and what Gio's doing and what Tara's doing because they need me to know. And Tara's doing this. Tara Joyce is doing the same fucking thing. And Geo Farnsworth is doing the same fucking thing. They all work as a group. And it's all just to shut someone down. It's just I'm not easy to shut down. I'm not their usual target. I'm not their usual target at all. And I'm not going to shut down. It doesn't scare me. It pisses me off. It pisses me off. I'm not a violent person, but I can do all kinds of stuff that has nothing to do with violence or criminal, especially with the shit I was trained to do. You know? Now I know it's the Gateway Project. This thing is just fucking amazing. It's just... That's what Aquino was all involved with. That's what they were doing. The Gateway Project. Never had a name for it. I could have years ago because I brought it up. I ended up a couple days ago, did have a conversation with Fiona, who got all irritated with me because she had sent me all that shit years ago. But it just, it clues in when it clues in, you know? And so, gate testing, when they tested me as a kid. So, just be careful, Katie, if you go look this up. Because this is a 26, 27 page document from the CIA, but it diagrams. That's how I knew that. That's how I knew that Fiona had sent it to me, because I remembered I remember looking at these diagrams before. So she was really mad at me. She sends me the information, and then I never even. I'm trying to find the diagram that I recognize right off the bat. And obviously I don't have this thing memorized. Well, this was one. I knew once I saw this, I knew that Fiona had sent it to me years ago. It just never clued in. I did not put the report on my blog. If you want the report, all you have to do is type in the Gateway Project and RDP96. It's going to be reversed, but RDP96. That's what I did. I typed in RDP96 and typed in the Gateway Project, because that's when I saw this, I just sent a message to Fiona and said, "Have you ever heard of this?" That's why she got all irritated with me, because she was like, "Yeah, and so have you. I told you about this years ago. It's the Gateway Project." And so I just typed in the Gateway Project and this CIA document came up. But just be careful. I still have not sat down and actually, I've skimmed it, but it's triggering, because for me, reading the stuff, I start to, oh yeah, that's when they did this. And I start to remember shit. And it's triggering. That's all I'm saying. It's super, super triggering. So anybody who's a victim of it, but there's evidence out there, you know? So with that said, I'm going to pray. I'm not going to be on here. I know is the GATE, like the GATE accelerated education program in schools. I know that all the testing that they were doing when I was a kid, I know they were using that to identify us. I know. I don't know if they still do that, but I know all the testing that they were doing on all of it, especially in elementary schools. You get tested all the time. When I was a kid, fuck, I got tested all the time. You know, Gate accelerated Gate accelerated education program. Boy, say that 3 times fast. Mensa wouldn't be the same thing, but maybe. I never tried out for Mensa. Never tried to do any of that. Never had any interest. I don't really participate in groups or clubs. Never had any interest in it. Just, I've always been really content with my own company, I guess. You know, and the older I've gotten, the more that's true. Especially, I make friends and then they come over and fucking betray me 3 days ago. You know, and I know what she's doing, and then she lies to me about it like I'm fucking stupid. And then she lied to me over the text messages that we had, because we had an argument about it. So I just fucking took screenshots of it. It's all on my blog, but nobody can see. Police have seen it. Police have seen it. And if something happens, everyone will see it, because I'll just take the password off of it and make it public. There's a few things now that I realize. Now that I realize I can do that, there's a few things that I would like to put on my blog. Make it password protected so that people couldn't see it. Or just the people I want to see it. Because I know there are people who are just dying to watch that fucking hour and a half thing with Derek Yamada, Chief of Police of Harlan. But I don't know if I can get that whole thing on my blog because it only takes small MP3. I'd have to post that on fucking YouTube. I can't do that. You know? I know that they're using the Satanic Temple after school daycare to target kids. That's the reason why I don't know about the testing, but I know about the Satanic Temple after school daycare. And again, it's all government. Whether or not it's CIA or Department of Defense, what the fuck, who cares? It's all government. Thomas, government. Johnny Dub, government. It's all being protected by the government. Who else could get Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff near? How could Gross lie about that Earling, Iowa gas station explosion? Someone had to help him. It's Head Start, Fed Preschool. That's where it starts. You know goddamn well that's where they target it. Because that's the shit that was going on that Michael Aquino was involved with. Not just with McMartin, but with the Presidio. Because the Presidio had a Head Start program and a preschool at the Presidio, and that was what he was involved with. So yeah, I was in it. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's where it was headed. That's where it was. You know? That's what they were doing. They focused on McMartin just like in the UK they focused on the Hampstead case because they just made it out to be a mockery. But in America, had they focused on the Presidio, it wouldn't have been so funny. In the UK, if they would focus on Shirley Oaks group home, it wouldn't be so funny. Because the Hampstead case, oh yeah, got turned out to be just fucking bullshit. But 500 survivors who have come together because they got fucking raped in a group home in the UK, that's really hard to actually dismiss. That's the reason why you never hear about Shirley Oaks. The UK never talks about Shirley Oaks. But their shit, they had to do something after Jimmy Savile, however the fuck you pronounce his name. That's why it all came up. That's why it all came up. That's the reason why Pizzagate came up here, because the Podesta files and that spirit cooking and all that weird bullshit, Madeleine McCain, that all became an issue, and then all of a sudden we had Pizzagate. Pizzagate is bullshit. It was a Michael Aquino construction, as was QAnon. And who was all involved with that? Oh, Thomas Schoenberger and Lucian Greaves. I knew fucking Dougie of Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, was involved in QAnon when I heard about that dude who was a QAnon guy, who someone through QAnon convinced him that his children had demon DNA in them. And the only way to get rid of that demon DNA is for this dude to murder his kids. So he took them down to Mexico and fucking harpooned them. And I recognize that story because Doug Mesner and Skills, aka Emily Thorne, aka Free Range Humans idiot, was going to Neil Brick's SMART conference for ritual abuse and children, survivors, victims that have been child trafficked in Connecticut, that SMART conference. And they were befriending these women. Then after the conference, they would send these women this secret Facebook invitation where they would go and join these secret Facebook groups. And oh, they would love them at the beginning. Tell them how great they are, how smart they are, blah, 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 blah. Until about 5 or 6 months later, would send them cards and teddy bears and stuffed animals. But then, about 5 or 6 months later, things would turn. And then they would start telling these women who already suffered from multiple personalities that they had personalities that were dark, of the devil. And the only way for them to get rid of these parts was to fucking commit suicide. And it was working. They were convincing women going to these conferences who had multiple personalities to kill themselves. That's how I knew Doug Mesner was involved with QAnon, because I recognized that fucking story. And this is the shit I've had to deal with. People say, why don't you go get a job? This is a goddamn job. One that nobody fucking wants. Because you have to do it for free. But it's still a life worth living. Because I don't fucking protect pedophiles. I don't work with pedophiles. I don't like pedophiles. And fuck those who do. Fuck those who do. Which is about ready to happen. They're gonna take their last breath eventually. No one fucking lives forever. And let me tell you, in the dark, they will find themselves fucked. Without a goddamn doubt. And let me tell you, the dark is God damned. But with that said, I gotta pray. I wasn't grouchy. Well, I was kind of grouchy because I had to do that table of contents. And so I was reading the shit and remembering all of the shit. So I got irritated just doing that table of contents. That's why I had to stop. Because I was remembering all the shit that I've gone through. Oh my God, they've put me through hell. They have put me through fucking hell. Just go gander out. The link is the very first link. Just go take a gander of it. Oh God. I could not live near the Bohemian Grove. Doug Millar wanted me to go to the Bohemian Grove one year. I would have never made it back. That was the intention. Doug Millar was Ted Gunderson's replacement. FBI buffoon playing controlled opposition to Michael Aquino. He took over Ted Gunderson's spot. Heaven, I come to you agitated. These child traffickers are just, they do whatever they want to do. They brag about it. They laugh about it. They dance around. And it's hard to take. And I just ask that you smite them. Hard. For the rest of eternity, basically. You say that it's better to tie a millstone around your neck and drown yourself in the ocean than hurt a child. Well, let me help fucking tie the knot. You know? And that probably is not loving. But at this point, I have my own shit to deal with. Try as much as I want to be and try as I might, there are times that I seriously come short of emulating our brother Jesus Christ. Especially with all of this. But we're in rough days, weeping and gnashing of teeth. Help us maintain the grace to do what you need us to do. And please don't be upset that I blocked all of them, but I'm sick of it. I'm sick of their stupid, psychotic middle schoolers shit. They murder people, they traffic kids, they're involved in such a huge criminal enterprise, and they need to be brought down. And nobody seems to want to bother. And it is beyond frustrating. But I thank you for your son, Jesus Christ. I thank you for this day. Let my words be heard, even though I was irritated in this. And in your son's name, our brother, Jesus Christ, I say these things lovingly and at the depth of my soul. Amen. I have a puppy who hates it when I get like this. Here to once love, but is actually here to comfort me. You know? That's the reason why them abusing my dogs just pisses me off. Beyond words. Beyond words. Beyond words. So, those of you, I'm broke. I'm, as you can see, I'm trying to do artwork, but it's slow going. Anybody who wants to contribute, show appreciation, even $5 helps. $1 would help at this point. I have the buy me a coffee thing, and I don't feel bad because everyone does this. Everything that I watch, they talk about it. Like and subscribe, comment on the video, donate if you can or feel compelled to. This has been really hard work. It's been really hard work. And kind of thankless. Handful of people are happy. But for the most part, it's thankless work. You would think more people would care. But that's not the day and age we're in now. Fuck, they'd rather go help the goddamn pedophiles. Smokey knows who those motherfuckers are. And now he's friends with Gio? That just tells you. Good riddance. Good riddance. You know? Good riddance. Gross. But cool. Because I don't have to deal with it now. I might come on tomorrow. I may not. I don't know. But I will be on Tuesday. Tuesday, Thursdays, and on the weekends. Either Saturday or Sunday. Just depending on if I feel like doing it. If I don't. If I'm in a better mood tomorrow, I might do it and just open it up and just let conversation happen. Most people don't want to converse when I'm all pissed off. And today has just been a really... Katie, I probably will come on tomorrow. I'm going to sew today. I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to just relax, pray. When I'm in the bathtub, I pray the whole time. That's all I ever do in the bath is pray. And I can spend an hour and a half in the bath just praying and being quiet and listening to God. There's just something about water, you know? And I don't know. I had a few people who donated, and it was enough for me to cover the taxes from the last quarter thing. I still have another quarter of taxes, and I still have that huge bill that I have to pay. That's why I'm trying to do shit. But had it been a day later, I wouldn't have been able to pay on it. It would have been added to the great big one. So it was just, good things have happened. You know, good things have happened. I can't complain. And it's just I had to use it all for the taxes, you know. So food is just scarce. And people don't have any food. So I went to go visit my friends at the pantry. I actually had a pantry, but I used to volunteer there for years. And so I went in and talked, and they're low because everyone's hurting. Everyone is hurting, and I know that, you know? I know that. The last thing I want to say is, I just want you to realize, so Katie, there are people out there, you know who you are, that when I'm bitching and complaining and basically yelling, don't take it personally because I don't mean everyone. You know? It's just hard to be specific on here. But people piss me off in ways that I can't even begin to explain sometimes. You know? You just want to push them down and kick sand in their dirt face. Isn't that how the old phrase goes? And so I don't, obviously. But still doesn't killed the desire of wanting to. Holy anger. And doing that that thing for my blog today, table of contents, because I knew exactly what one of those are, and just realized there are titles that are almost exactly the same, but they're all different screenshots. It's all different shit. Every one of those is something different. But because I wrote them, I had, I just want these motherfuckers to be claimed by the dark. That's all I want. These evil motherfuckers who think that they're so powerful because they can hide in the motherfucking shadows. Being devious isn't the same thing as being intelligent. You know? Just because you're fucking devious doesn't mean you're smart. In fact, what it means is you have intelligence with no humanity. And in the end, you'll find yourself fucked because of it. So it's so not smart. But being devious, oh, my PayPal, I have the thing in the description, but it's just at capital D, capital S, then lowercase HURTER. So it's just D Shurter. But the D and the S are capitalized, and then the rest of Shurter is not. But that's what it is at D Shurter. If you have any questions, just go into the description. You know, I'm never going to stop. But I also can't deal with Thomas dinging my phone 30 fucking times a day. You know? If I'm listening to something, if I'm listening to music, if I'm talking on the phone, that shit clicks in. I'm not going to be inundated. I'm not going to let that motherfucker harass me. This little composer who just does music, but wants to be seen as a fucking authority on everything child trafficking. And all the shit that he tells you is bullshit. He's just like Tara Joyce. He'll lead you down every fucking rabbit hole but the right one. And tell you how he's the authority the whole time. Convince you how he's telling the truth. But you only have to listen to him to realize he doesn't tell the truth. He doesn't tell the truth. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. A child trafficking, murdering piece of shit. Let's just make that clear. They're all involved in a criminal enterprise that just includes child trafficking. I'm sure there's way more. And they can do and say whatever the fuck they want. Post whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. I don't see it anymore. And I don't care. I don't care. Because it's all bullshit anyway. All the shit that Thomas sends me is bullshit. It's just lie after lie after lie, but it gets exhausting to have to deal with it. It's exhausting. And I don't want to deal with it anymore. So I'm not gonna. I'm just not gonna. But check out the table of contents. That's obviously not everything. That's just probably the first 30 pages of everything that I have on that blog, and I have 108 pages. So there's a lot of shit on that blog. You know, there's just, I have documented stuff forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I have a feeling now Gio's texting me or Daniel's texting me, so it'll break in. But realize this, dumbasses. You're going to have to change the number because after the first or second time, it doesn't do it anymore. So when you text me 100 to 200 times during my live videos, I don't get, as you can tell, the noise doesn't come through because it stops. Emails, however, are completely fucking different. You know? I have muted notifications, you know? But they never use the same phone number. a lot of times they're blocked. Even when they text me, it's blocked numbers. You know, it's just they play a lot of goddamn games and it's just harassment. Like I said, they're psychotic fucking middle schoolers. You know, it's just, and their numbers are always different. Their numbers, Geo calls from an unknown number. He blocks his number. You know, you're funny, I miss. You know, the last thing I will say is that that's the worst thing about my anger, because people tell me all the time that I can be a funny comic. I could be a great angry comic. Because when I get angry, you just never know the shit that's going to come out of my mouth. And what ends up happening is I get angry, and so I say stuff, and I'm angry, but what I say makes people laugh. And so then people start laughing because of the stuff that I'm saying because I'm angry. But it actually is a good thing because then they start laughing, and then eventually I start laughing too. So it helps. But I was told I could be a great angry comic because I get irritated. And I am my mother's son. My mom was like that too. You just never knew what was going to come out of her mouth. I'm definitely a mama's boy. But they can post whatever the fuck they want. It doesn't come up in my mentions anymore. You're going to have to change accounts. And every time you do, I'll just block that account too. Every time. I don't care. I don't care. If there are people who are listening to you who actually believe you, then they're idiots. And I don't care. You know? Basically, your shit's not that hard to see through. None of these child traffickers, Thomas's, Daniel Dowd's, Gabe Hoffman's, Terry Joyce's, Daniel Dowd, Gio Farnsworth, Corey Daniel, their shit isn't that hard to see through. To actually listen to it and not see it is a choice, I think. And you'll be held accountable for that choice because you're supporting fucking child traffickers, murderers, pedophiles. Those are the people you want to support. Stay away from me. Do me a favor. Because you won't like how I respond to you. You won't. I guarantee it. I don't like pedophiles, and I don't like people who like pedophiles. Funny how it works that way. Being a child trafficking, sex trafficking victim. Have been, I tell people all the time, women have these rape fantasies. Gay men have rape fantasies. Oh yeah, it's a fantasy till it actually happens. It won't be a fantasy anymore. It'll be a goddamn trauma. That's how it fucking works. When it's real, it ain't fun. With that said, that's kind of a dark thing. They're disgusting. They are disgusting. Okay, with that said, thanks guys. Go check out. It took me a long time to do what I did so far on that table of contents. So at least go check out the titles. You might find something interesting to read in there.